Welcome to the third video on the topic the philosophy of research. In this video we are going to discuss about two broad methods of reasoning known as deductive and inductive thinking in research. So let's begin with this important question. What is the starting point of your research? Are you the one who is starting with some theory at place, or you are the one who is starting with the basic observations? For a while, let's say you are the one who is starting with some theory. Let's say some theory is being discovered, some theory on motivation, let's say, is discovered in US, and you want to test the same theory of motivation in your context as well, like let's say in India. So whether the same motivational theory, how good is the theory of motivation, the same theory of motivation which is discovered at US. So you are interested in testing of that theory. Okay, and then there could be some interesting area where there is no literature available, or maybe you want to start afresh from observations. You want to build the picture by keeping pieces one after the other and trying to see how these pieces you could connect them by trying to locate patterns into them. Having said this, let's discuss the former approach, which is deductive approach, which is about moving from more general to more specific. Understand, when we say more general, theories are general, right? Because theories are the same. Theory of gravitation is responsible for an apple falling on the earth, and it goes explaining the terrestrial and celestial phenomena, astronomical phenomena. The same theory of gravitation applies why moon is encircling the earth, or why earth is going round and round around the sun. So same theory. So theory is always identified with general case. So when we have some theory at place, we try to narrow down and arrive at some hypothesis. Like the example which I quoted, there is some theory of motivation which holds good in US, and how about translating that same, testing that their theory in Eastern context for the country like India. So we have some hypothesis. So if we then try to narrow down further, and we would like to come up with some observations that could address our hypothesis, leading to finally confirmation or rejection of the theory. So basically, in deductive approach, what is the outcome of deductive approach? That you either get support to an existing theory, or you could challenge some theory. So challenging and supporting, both things could occur, because rejection, hypothesis would be rejected, so it means challenge. Hypothesis confirmation means support. Let's talk about the other reasoning, which is the opposite process of deductive reasoning, inductive reasoning, and it starts with specific observations and it goes to broader generalization and generation of theories. It is a bottom-up approach So what you would try to use when you use inductive reasoning? You begin with specific observations and measures, and you try to detect certain patterns and regularities. The more you observe, the more you are likely to discover some regularities. And from these regularities and patterns, you come up with some statement where you try to say how in general the world operates or how the phenomena is working. So you are actually trying to theorize. And so finally the end result of inductive reasoning is theory. So can you see at this juncture that the two reasonings, actually one is to test theory and the other is to create theory. So creation and testing of theory, one is deductive, another one is inductive. So inductive reasoning is the one which starts with observation, then pattern, then tentative hypothesis and theory. Here interestingly we have the word tentative. Why this tentative has come? I will try to explain. See, here the word hypothesis is used, and here it is tentative. Why? When we say there is already a certain theory at place, which is actually theory, let's say talk about scientific facts. So if gravity exists, then whatever we are hypothesizing based on certain fact is going to be deterministic. We can say it with greater surety why something will happen, something will fall in line with theory or not in line with theory, right? So as simple as it sounds. So take it or leave it, simple. Whereas when you try to build up from small pieces, so here you were starting with general and you are moving to some specific form. So there you use the word hypothesis. Whereas when you are trying to build picture this way, that one after the other observation, trying to figure out, trying to see some pattern into it, there are huge chances, or there is some, definitely you cannot rule out this likelihood that there are some pieces which may contradict your theory. You have not observed them, you failed to observe them. Then what you will, at best you could say, this thing may be true. You can never be sure about it. It may be true, it may be not. So that is why to denote this tentative has come. Okay. So inductive reasoning, normally when you mark the inductive phase of research in the beginning, when you are trying to come up with more open-ended inquiry and exploratory research. So that is where inductive reasoning is the right kind of reasoning. Whereas deductive reasoning is more narrow, it is restricted, and it is concerned with testing or confirming hypothesis. So one for theory generation and one for testing. We could integrate the two, and it's not hard to visualize that these things could be seen as a cyclical. So when we are moving from theory to observations, confirming or rejecting our theory at place, that is deductive. And when we are building up pieces after pieces, bottom up approach, so from specific to general, it is inductive. So most social research actually involve the phases of this deductive as well as inductive reasoning. So That is all in this video. Thank you very much.